You know that feeling, right? You're in a tense situation, someone's getting worked up, and you can just feel yourself getting sucked right in. The more they escalate, the more you escalate. Well, today, we're going to talk about a really powerful technique to completely flip that script. It's all about gaining control, not by yelling louder, but by getting incredibly, radically quiet.
I love this quote because it just nails it. The real power in any room, it's not the person making the scene. Nope, it's the person whose calm is so intense it actually makes everyone else a little nervous. That's the core idea here. It's not about matching chaos with more chaos. It's about this deep, almost unsettling composure. And that's the foundation for what we're diving into. All right, so let's break down the problem we're all facing. It really comes down to our own instincts, right? When someone comes at you with aggression or super high emotion, what's our first impulse? It's to react, to push back, raise our voice, match that energy. But here's the thing, that's a total trap. The second you do that, you've lost control, not just of the situation, but of yourself. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? How can doing, well, less, being still, being quiet, how can that possibly give you more power? It just doesn't seem to add up. But the answer is fascinating, and it has everything to do with what's happening to the other person's brain, and maybe even more importantly, what's happening inside your own.
So, look at this. It really lays out the two choices you have in that moment. On one side, you've got the emotional reaction. This is your lizard brain, your amygdala, just taking over. And it's like throwing gasoline on a fire. The whole thing just explodes, and you've completely given away your power. But on the other side, that's radical composure. That's your CEO brain, the rational part, stepping in. It doesn't fuel the fire. It calmly starves it of oxygen. And just like that, you're back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so this whole elegant solution, this strategy for control, it has a name. We're calling it radical composure. And I want to be super clear, this is way more than just keeping your cool. This is a conscious, deliberate, tactical move designed to give you a serious psychological advantage.
Let's look at this definition. The key words to lock onto here are deliberate strategy and extreme stillness. See, this isn't a passive thing at all. It's not about just sitting there and taking it. No, it's an active choice you're making. You're deciding to be the calm anchor in the storm, and you're using your own body to change your mind and to change the entire feel of the room.
So, this probably sounds pretty intense, maybe even a little complicated, but here's the best part. Actually doing it is surprisingly simple. Seriously. We're not talking about some complex mental gymnastics here. It all comes down to controlling just a few, very basic, physical things.
And here it is, the how-to. It's a simple three-step plan. First step, you become a statue. I mean it. No fidgeting, no flinching, no nervous tics. You just stay perfectly still. Step 2, slow down your breathing. Take a deliberate, slow breath. This is you sending a signal to your body's alarm system that says, hey, false alarm, we're cool. And finally, step 3, drop your shoulders. Right now, you're probably holding tension up by your ears. Just let them drop. Physically release it. These 3 simple things, they're the trigger. They kickstart the whole process.
Okay, so you're doing it. You're standing still, you're breathing slow. So what? What is actually happening to that other person who's all worked up? Well, this is where it gets really, really interesting. Because your calm, it doesn't immediately calm them down. Not at first anyway. It actually unnerves them. See, their brain is totally revved up for a fight or flight response. It's expecting you to yell back. It's waiting for you to escalate. And when you don't, you suddenly become this unreadable wild card. Their brain literally can't compute your stillness. It's not on the menu of expected reactions. So what does it do? It flags you as unpredictable. And because you're unpredictable, you're a potential threat. And boom, just like that, the entire power dynamic is shifted and you haven't even said a word. It sounds crazy to say it, but for a person who's super agitated, that chaos, the yelling, the tension, that's their comfort zone. That's the world they're operating in, and they want nothing more than to pull you into that storm with them. It's familiar. It's what their brain is prepared for.
But by staying calm, by refusing to get sucked in, you completely break the script they're following. You're denying them the reaction they expect, and honestly, the reaction they need to keep their own agitation going. You're basically forcing them to come over to your territory, the land of calm. And on your turf, believe me, they are at a massive disadvantage.
Okay, so that's the effect it has on them. But now let's talk about the other half of the equation, which is maybe even cooler. What is going on inside your own head? Because this isn't just about playing mind games with someone else. It's about literally changing your own brain chemistry in the moment. Take a look at this. When things get tense, this is pretty much what your brain looks like on default settings. That little emotional part, the amygdala, it just hijacks the whole system. It's screaming danger, danger, and your rational CEO brain is basically gagged and tied up in a closet. It can't get a word in. And, this is why we all say and do dumb things when we're under pressure.
But here is the absolute key to all of this. Your brain listens to your body. It's a two-way street. So when you consciously make yourself stay still, when you force your breathing to slow down, you're sending a physical message straight back to that panicked amygdala, and the message is simple. Hey, relax. We're not actually being chased by a tiger right now. You can stand down.
And this is the result. By taking those few simple physical actions, you can see the change. The influence of that emotional brain just shrinks, and suddenly your rational CEO brain is back online, back in charge. This is so important. You're not just acting calm anymore. You are becoming genuinely calm, clear-headed, and ready to make smart, strategic choices. And really, that's the ultimate secret to this whole thing. Look, you can't control what other people do. You can't always control the situation you're in. But with radical composure, you can 100% take back control of your own mind. And once you've got that locked down, well, controlling the rest of the room gets a whole lot easier.
So think about it. The next time you're in a tense negotiation at work, or a really difficult conversation with someone, or even just one of those stressful family moments where you feel that heat rising in your chest, remember this simple plan. Remember that your stillness isn't weakness, it's your greatest strength. So the only real question is, where are you going to use it first?